What if I told you that the biggest scam of our time is not Wall Street, but the healthcare industry? We are being manipulated by fear, trapped by fake test results, and hooked onto medicines we never needed. From hospitals to test labs to insurance companies, it's a well oiled machinery profiting from your pain. And the worst part, we have been programmed to believe that it's all for our good. It's time to expose the system. Are you ready to hear the truth? If you are, let's jump right into the show. Hi Arun, welcome to my chat show. It's a pleasure
Hi.
having you here. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is going to be an eye opener because we are going to be exposing how the healthcare industry worldwide is scamming all of us in the name of healing. Arun is very passionate about this subject, and I'm looking forward to a really interesting conversation with him today. So, watch till the very end. Please note that our intention is not to malign the entire healthcare industry or to create fear. Rather, this episode aims to raise awareness so that you, as individuals, can make informed decisions about your health. The views expressed are not a blanket judgment on all doctors or all healthcare institutions. Far from it. We acknowledge and deeply respect the many professions and organizations who work with integrity and genuine care. Our goal is simply to provide you with perspectives and information that can empower you to think critically and assess things for yourself. With that being said, let's get started. Arun, are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Arun, are there some doctors or test, test labs or hospitals and medical institutions that are really scamming us? You have any personal experience about this?
See, since the corporatization of the hospitals have become corporates, pure corporates, and there is a lack of empathy. And this is what I speak from at least 15 years of my experience in handling hospitals and handling doctors. I'll say handling doctors. Why? Because my father, in his last stage, within 12 years, off and on, he used to go to hospital and ICU. Okay, so I have my experience of at least 10 ICU जो मेरे father had to go through 10 not one. And my mom's also. My mom died of cancer. That also. So मतलब I'll start from my first visit to ICU. See, it was I think so somewhere around 2008. So my father had some seizure, and it was some 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock at night. And I फटाफट we didn't know anything to and I was not that much जितना आज मैं aware हूँ उतना awareness नहीं था, so this was a journey. So we took my father to the hospital, and they said कि okay, बहुत problematic लग रहा है, तो let's admit him to ICU. I said, and he was having seizures, maybe it was fits, I don't know, but we as laymen, how can we judge? So what happened? They said, okay, do you have Mediclaim? I said, no. At that time, my dad didn't have a Mediclaim. So they said, okay, go and deposit some amount in the registration desk. Raat ko, because see, we don't plan. So I forgot to take my purse, and there was some 5,000 cash in my pocket. Okay. And I didn't expect that we would be requiring more. So I just rushed there. He said, okay, wo detail diya. Acha, mind you, my father is still not admitted in ICU. They said ICU mein jana hai, but they didn't admit him into the ICU straight away. Okay. He said, okay, deposit 10,000 rupees. I said, I have 5,000 rupees. You take this 5,000 rupees and I'll go back home. I forgot my purse. मैं लेके आता हूँ, and then you can. He said, no, by the time I am, preparing a form, why don't you go and bring the money? My house is half an hour from this thing. Full half an hour was wasted. My dad was there in ICU. मतलब, doctor said ICU. ICU का मतलब क्या है? Anything can happen at any time. He wasn't admitted. The clerk was adamant. I'm not naming the hospital, and this is not one hospital. It's everywhere, most of the hospitals. Ultimately, what happened? The news had spread. So one of my friend had come in also to inquire about my dad's health. So he said he found me and he said, "What's क्यों प्रॉब्लम क्यों, मतलब तुम इतना परेशान क्यों है? मैंने कहा नहीं नहीं वो आई कुडंट ब्रिंग मनी, सो ही पेड बाय क्रेडिट कार्ड, his credit card, and then my father was admitted to ICU. That's one. Cut two. After 2 years, my sister-in-law got a job in a MNC, and as per their rules, their the parents and the full family got covered in
Correct.
Mediclaim. 2 years later, same thing. रात को कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ. We rushed my dad to that same hospital. वहां पे गए. He said, doctor said he has to be admitted to ICU. I said, okay. He said, do you have Mediclaim? I said, yes. I was taken to a room. I never went to the registration desk. And I was sitting like this, like a king. And the doctor was there. Doctor was filling up the form. And before he filled up the form, he's already instructed a nurse. Nurse, shift the patient to ICU. Matlab, he hasn't filled up the form. He filled up, did blah, 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 everything. And then said, okay, fine. So your dad will be taken care of. No worries, relax. Everything is taken care of. And I was sitting there. I said, this is the same hospital here. Who didn't admit my father for 30, 40 minutes just because I couldn't, and my father is with you. I'm not taking him. So they didn't rely on 5,000 rupees on me. That's one, lack of empathy. Now, let me tell you another thing. After 2 days, they found out that, oh my God, my father was already admitted. And at that time, they had written there that he was a sugar patient. So they found out that, oh my God, it will not be covered under Mediclaim, pre-disease, already done that. So there was a meeting called up, and then he called me. The doctor called me. He said, why didn't you tell me that your father was admitted last time? And I go, who asked me? You never asked me. The moment I said Mediclaim, you just, rushed as if you got a very big order, great order you got. You didn't even ask me. So he said, okay. And the doctors manipulated to cover up that there was nothing there. My question is this, why this different treatment? Because now they knew okay, everything which they do, and they did all the tests and everything. I know the first time my dad's bill was 60,000 rupees. The second time my dad's bill was 2.5 lakh rupees. Wow. Now what's going on? So what if a person is not able to pay? What will we do? So that's one. So corporatization of the hospital. Now let me tell you another incident. After some times, my father fell down and he had a hairline fracture. Okay. And first I went to a general orthopedic. He looked at it and he said, he's aged, so he won't be able to walk. But I don't think so. Operation is required. If you just rest, let him rest, and it will heal. That was the advice given by that doctor. Then I went to the hospital. And I went to not one hospital. I went to 3 to 4 hospitals. Let me play this in a theatrical manner. One of the experience I'm sharing. There was one doctor, senior doctor, sitting like this. There was another doctor who's sitting in front. So he must be a junior doctor. I got my appointment. Let's say this is the X-ray report. Huh? I went there. I said, my father fell down and he had a fracture. He said, oh, do you have the X-ray report? I said, yes. I said, this is the X-ray report. And he said, operation karana padega. Shall I repeat it again? See, he was so fast. He was that Western usme to guns nahi hote hain. Split second guns, dhak. He said, operation karana padega. I said, did you even see where the fracture was? And the doctor in front, he said, Mediclaim hai. I said, yes. And I stared at his eyes because I knew what was coming. I could see the gleam in his eyes. Can you imagine? I was like, yes. And I stared in his eyes and I could see the eyes twinkling like this. He couldn't, hide those emotions. And he said, okay, fine. Get your dad right now and we will get the operation done tomorrow and everything will be fine. I said, my dad is diabetic. 300 se niche aata nahi hai. He said, don't worry, morning tak we will hum sugar control kar lenge. By afternoon, aapka wo ho jayega. 3 to 4 days, 5 days ke andar aap dad ko leke ja sakte hain. And I was wondering, last 6 महीने से dad का diabetes control नहीं हो रहा. तुम रातों-रात को diabetes you will control. How is it possible? How this magic happens? when you go through all this and you are actually, you have a brain, to understand, you say, what's happening? I'll tell you one more very exciting incident. Then I went to another hospital, one of the big hospitals. There I found a young doctor. Okay. And I said, my father, blah, 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 this. He said, okay, do you have an X-ray? He took the X-ray and he examined like this. And then he said, uh, most of the doctors must have suggested, plates डालते हैं उसमें, that surgery plates.
Yeah, yeah.
मैंने कहा, yes. कहता, let me tell you, those plates are not useful at all. This operation is not successful. Please don't do that. And I said, oh my God, I found a doctor who's genuine, he's giving me genuine advice. He said, no, don't do it. It is useless. Your father won't be able to walk. Nothing. Don't fall into that trap. He was advising me as if he was my, mera well-wisher.
Right.
Then what do you suggest? He said, what I suggest is joint replacement. I said, what? What's that? He said, the whole joint will be cut open, the whole hip joint. And we will replace a new joint there.
Wow.
And then your father will be able to walk. I said, यार ये तो उससे भी उसका भी बात निकला. And I said, okay, man, I was gullible. I went, okay. And what's the cost? He said, you have Mediclaim? I go, yes. So he said approximately 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees or 2.5 to 3 lakh rupees. I go, what's the difference? He said 2.5 to 3 lakh rupees imported and 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees is your Indian domestic. I go, thank you so much. Coming back, I have a logical mind. I know and I have been into this, so I was not befooled. My question is this: what about a gullible person who doesn't know anything? And we say, तुम ही हो माता पिता, तुम ही हमारे रक्षक हो, तुम्हारे हाथ में मैंने अपनी जिंदगी या मेरे फैमिली की जिंदगी सौंप दी है. What is the responsibility these doctors have? What is the Hippocratic oath they take? First thing is, because the hospitals have become corporates, they have targets. I heard one of the doctors admitting that if he doesn't hear the sound of ambulance, he gets depressed. Because sound of ambulance is kick for them. One more incident. I'm not naming the hospital, but these are all different hospitals. I have already talked about 3 hospitals. I've got a lot of experience with them. One of the hospitals, again, my dad was there. Again, everything happened. Then he went to the normal, जो rooms होते हैं उसमें shift हो गया. He was supposed to be there for 7 days. I said 3 दिन के बाद ठीक हैं. मतलब हमने उनको discharge करवा दिया. And then we had that daily जो weekly visit होता है. Weekly visit में a very senior respected doctor. He is one of the respected doctors. And when I went to his chamber with my dad and everything, and he checked him, and he said, we had advised you 7 days, but आपने 3 दिन में, why did you got your father discharged? मैं कहा, he was feeling well, so I thought, why should he be in the hospital? He should be at home. He said, no, we had to do more experiments. And I said,
experiments?
what did I hear? Because he was so emotionally involved, he blurted out that we had to do more experiments. My dad is a guinea pig or what? So I don't know, as a health experts, where are we going? And this is all because of the corporate culture. You go to any hospital, you will feel that you have gone to one of the corporate sectors. So hope I could tell you what's happening wrong. In all this, the health is being sacrificed.
I have had also personal experiences on this with my own father. Anything else you wanted to cover on this, on that question?
No, most of this. Like for example, today, what is the largest number of surgeries which are being done? And almost every 5th, 6th person, when I talk to them, I find that they have got this surgery done. You know what's that? Gallbladder. People are getting the gallbladder removed. Now, gallbladder stone, gallbladder removed. Kidney stone, why are we not removing the kidney? Because kidney cannot be removed, it will have repercussions. Gallbladder removed, it will not have repercussions. But if you remove the stones, that is costing less. But if you remove the gallbladder, you can increase the bill. Third thing, almost every birth is now cesarean.
Yeah.
You ask anybody today, almost 70 to 80% in the metro cities and top cities, the surgeries are cesarean. Why? Because cesarean you can increase the bill, but
Right.
cesarean surgery is actually creating havoc. Why are we doing that? So I don't know. मतलब basically ये पूरा धंधा बन गया, business. Whom do we rely? And lastly, people, how do they advertise? You come to a hospital, we have the best facilities. You are a five-star hotel or what that you are giving me best facilities? You don't need best facilities. There was a time when a doctor used to see your tongue, feel your this thing, feel your heartbeat from back. वो stethoscope तो आज सिर्फ लटकाने के लिए रह गया. I haven't seen any doctor using the stethoscope right now because you can't charge thousands of rupees for using the stethoscope, but I can charge thousands and lakhs of rupees for a CAT scan or a MRI. So that is where now going to a hospital is actually very, very dicey. And with all those experiments, the death rate is very high. What is the death rate of ICU? Just check. The people who have gone to ICU. What is the death rate of ventilators? People who go to ventilator, how many have survived? A lot of malpractices.
Right. Arun, have you had any experience where the doctors play with your emotions? They create that fear, and then you are stuck. You don't know what to do, right? And we take those decisions. Anything like that? You have one or two examples?
Yes, many, and still it brings tears in my eyes that why I didn't fight that day. And that is why one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about this thing is because I lost my parents because of negligence of the hospital. So that has actually given me this thing that at least I lost my parents, but I will not allow people to get this if they come in my connect. I still remember the last time when my dad went to hospital. 15 days he was in ICU, and but he was recovering. And I still remember the 14th day for 13th or 14th day, when I went to see him, because I was always there to see him. He was very happy. He was looking buoyant, and I thought, wow, now soon my dad will be home. And he wanted to tell me something, but because he was weak that way, so I couldn't actually gather what he was telling, but he was very happy. मतलब मुझे लगा, I was so satisfied कि मैंने कहा चलो, my dad is okay. And I thought that okay, next day or next to next day he'll be out of ICU, and within 4, 5, 6 days we will take him back. Next day, and this was last meeting with my dad. Next day the daughter calls and says that we have to do tracheostomy. Now, what is tracheostomy? Is यहाँ से छेद करके अंदर oxygen करना, because his lungs are filled with that mucus or something.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I didn't know what tracheostomy was there. And already he was having this glucose वाला यहाँ चल रहा था और food पे भी चल रहा था. And यहाँ पे भी उन्हें tracheostomy करना है, ठीक है? So मैंने कहा यार कितना छेद करोगे तुम मेरे डैड के बॉडी में? So मैंने कहा what if I don't do that? He said, if you don't do that, we can't guarantee that your father will survive. And I was thinking, yeah, yesterday he was so, मतलब बहुत अच्छे थे. I was expecting today good news. Why are you telling me tracheostomy? But at that time, I was so blindfolded by the emotions and by everything that one part of this thing was saying, say no to tracheostomy, put your foot down. But at that time, I didn't have that much experience because that was 2016. Today is 2025. Today, I can put my foot down on any damn thing. I'll challenge them. But at that time, I was not so, so well versed with what's happening. The research of 9 years has given me more confidence to challenge them. But I succumbed to this thing. And that was the worst thing I ever did in my life. I'll not forgive myself for that. From that day, my dad became a vegetable. I could never hear from him what he wanted to tell me because he couldn't speak. His speech was gone. And then I fought. I said, now then I fought. Then मेरे अंदर है. मैंने कहा, I am taking my dad back home from ICU straight. They said, no, you're taking a risk. I said, I will take the risk. If my dad has to die, he will die at home in front of me. I don't want to take my dad's body from ICU. I am not with him in the last moments. I am responsible. I said, I am responsible, whatever is happening. I shifted against all their emotional this thing, but I should have done it 2 days ago. I brought him back home. We created an ICU-like system in our house. We had one attendant to be there, and I was always there. He survived 15 days, but I'm happy that those 15 days we spent more time with my dad. So that was the compensation which happened. And let me tell you another, fact which disturbed me that time, because my dad was injected two antibiotics in the morning, two in the evening, and the MRP of that was 6,000 rupees and 2,000 rupees, which means 8,000 morning, 8,000 evening, which is 16,000 rupees.
Every day.
Now those 16,000 rupees, because he was in hospital, the Mediclaim was giving it. But the moment I shifted at home, the Mediclaim is not applicable. So I thought 16,000 every day. So another 20 days or 30 days, we'll be actually hand to mouth. 16,000 every day. And this is one, other medicines are there. So 20,000 every day. So I tried ki iska alternate hai. So I found the alternate for 2,000 rupees. One was 2,000 and 3,000, which means 16,000 and came back to 3,000 rupees. So, but 3,000 morning, 3,000 morning, 6,000 ho gaya. But 6,000 again is, 30 days, you'll be 1,80,000 down. Three months and you're 5-6 lakh down, and you don't know when to stop. So I went to the doctor and said, sir, I said, doctor, I have a question. Doctor, two antibiotics which you have told that we have to administer them, every day. But these are very costly. These are 6,000. Do you think it needs to be given? Okay, leave it. I said, no, I didn't hear it. Because now the hospital is not getting the money.
Right.
I said, but you said these antibiotics are necessary. He said, no, you can leave it.
So sad.
I said, what's happening, bhai? So what about the antibiotics? इतना antibiotics जो तुमने मेरे dad के अंदर inject कर दिया for so many days in ICU, just because you wanted that 16,000 rupees of billing. It disturbed me. So coming back to the point, seriously, if you want to get cured, don't go to the hospital which has got the best facilities, because these machines are lying idle. They want bodies to, they want bodies to experiment them on. That's the truth today. I'm speaking from my heart. That's the truth. I lost my dad because of that.
Yeah, in fact, actually, if you ask me honestly, Arun, see, the doctors, they want to do good. It's a very noble profession, right? But now what has happened when they join some hospital, they want to say the right things, but they are under pressure. It's because, as you said, the institutions have become business organizations. And I have had so many people telling me this, that the hospital pressurizing them, you need to prescribe MRI, you need to prescribe so many tests, at least you need to prescribe, and they are forced. What do they do? And my sympathies are there with some of the doctors who are honest, right? But they are under pressure. They just don't know what to do, and if they don't do it, they'll be kicked out of the hospital. So पेट का सवाल है, right? And they've spent so much money in their education. They got to EMI, they got to pay those EMIs, and if they stand up for what is right, they'll be out of the job. So this is also a very important thing which is playing a havoc with those people. I think what's happening now, we are all getting programmed to take medicines. At drop of the hat, we want to go and visit the doctor. We don't even think are there any other alternatives. Over time, we got programmed to it. Actually, you need not even go to the doctor, but we get scared.
Actually, you don't go to the doctor. Absolutely. See, it's like this. When you go to Goa Ibibo and you say, okay, I want to, enjoy my holidays. So what you will do is you will go to the hotel which has got the best facilities. Swimming pool bhi hai, ye bhi hai, ye bhi hai, ye bhi hai, ye bhi hai. So you will say, okay, this is the best, so I should go there. That's great. Now the same corporate technology is being used. Go to the hospital which has got ye bhi hai, ye bhi hai, ye bhi hai, ye bhi hai, and we forget that there you have gone to enjoy. Here you've gone to cure yourself. And for curing yourself, You don't require MRIs, you don't require CAT scans, you don't require anything. Your body is your hospital. That's where we are doing wrong. See, let me show you. I bought all these. These are all reports of my dad, and this is the last bill of my dad, which was 3,58,000. Let me tell you what it says. It says 21st April, visit of doctor 1, 600 rupees, visit of doctor 2, 600 rupees, visit of doctor 3, 600 rupees. One is internal medicine, second is again internal medicine, and third is physiotherapy. And let me tell you, these three doctors kept on visiting from 21st April to 5th May. My question is this, इतना क्या था जो 3 doctors, 2 internal medicine every day, that means 1,800 rupees every day. This person came here to see कि मैं medicine बढ़ाऊं कि घटाऊं. And 600 rupees, mind you, 600 rupees, which means 1,800 rupees every day for the doctor to come to their own place. They are not coming to my house.
Right.
They are shifting from one room to the other room, and they are not coming especially for my dad. There are 10 more patients there,
right,
in the ICU, which means these 3 doctors, 1,800 into 10, 18,000 rupees for just coming and seeing. And I was there when doctors came. He will come there, he will put a gloves. That glove again charging 56 rupees, which is available 5 rupees outside. And he will not even touch my dad, and he'll say, okay, what is acha, BP, acha, okay, fine. The medicines are okay, great, fine. Let's continue with the medicine. He'll take out the glove and put it in the dustbin and take out a sanitizer and do push. I said, guys, you are a doctor, you are the expert, you want the gloves, you want the push. Sanitizer mein push hi bolta hu. Nothing. I am not a doctor. I have got no gloves, no push, no mask. I can survive. I cannot contaminate my dad, but you can contaminate my dad. What's the logic? So every visit costing what? 2,000, 3,000 rupees for this thing. So anyway, coming back to the point, these are all money making machines. And why? Because previously doctors owned the shop. Vaid hota tha. Vaid was the businessman. Vaid was the curing person. Vaid was the counselor. Doctors had all these. Now, who's owning the hospitals? Tell me. Businessmen.
right.
Now, why are businessmen spending so much of money? Charity.
सवाल ही नहीं.
A hospital costs anywhere between 100 crores to 200 crores. Why will a businessman spend 50, 60, 70, 100 crores or 200 or 500 crores and stating there are 300 bedded hospitals, which means you want 300 people to come and, get sick. Now, the challenge is this, people are not getting sick. So what's happening? Facility ज़्यादा है, sick हो नहीं रहा है. So why don't you make them sick? तो क्या बोलते हैं? Free health checkup in your society.
Correct.
So that we can pick up the gullible victims. Bait. Free health checkup, bait. Come. Any fish wanting to swallow this? It's actually, we are making fun of it, but this is a serious topic.
No. I think what you're saying is absolutely correct, and that's the reality. So Arun, I think we are running out of time. So Arun, thank you very much for such amazing insights. Yes,
Thank you so much.
I am sure viewers, you would have also had such similar experiences. In closing, I would like to say, awareness is the first step towards true healing. Questioning doesn't mean rejecting. It means caring enough to seek the truth. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Don't be afraid to challenge the system. The power to choose what's right for your body and your mind lies with you. Viewers, you may or may not agree with some of the things we have said. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. In the next episode, we are going to be covering another very, very interesting and controversial subject. That's vaccinations. Don't miss that episode. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next. Bye-bye.
Just one line added here.
Yep.
That we will also be coming out with what to do, because now we are saying what not to do. So we'll come out with the series also where we'll tell you what should be done. And lastly, no doctor can guarantee death or life. So if someone says, if you don't do this, your dad will or your mom will or will die, Just ask them, if I do this, will you guarantee that they will live? Because
Totally
death
right.
is not in their hands, life is not
Exactly.
in their hands, it's in the hands of. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Arun. Once again, thank you, viewers, for watching till the end. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye bye.